You know, when I ask somebody who's of a similar complexion what they are voting for Kamala for, or why should I vote for Kamala rather, the response is usually, oh man, you're going to miss this historic opportunity. You're on the wrong side of history if you don't want to have a woman, a black woman, quote unquote, for those who know, in office. This is a historic moment. You're on the wrong side of history. And then I go, okay, well, that's fine, which is not. But what can you tell me anything about a policy? And usually the response is just like this.
What are the reasons you're backing Kamala? What policies do you agree with?
So my first thought process is I would want to make sure that I have an understanding, or obviously I'm new to this and on this platform, but in reading in the audience, but I do want to have an understanding that the administration signs in the bills and they do specific executive orders in regards to policies and laws, but the people that have these conversations and do the work is Congress. So I understand that we like to say Kamala and Biden and Trump, but I don't view it as that. So I just want to put that out there. I go based on the Congress and people that do that type of work. But one reason that I would support and vote for Kamala outside of the policy when I get to it is Trump is stating that he wants to be a dictator. So I don't want a form of government where one person is just running the country or wanting to get rid of the Constitution, which the country was founded on. So, I mean, that is a big reason why I would want to make sure that I'm voting for the other candidate, because I don't want that to happen to democracy, because I live and work within the democracy as being an elected official. But outside of that, I respect the fact of her encouragement or platform of having diversity and equal representation, meaning we need to get more Black and brown people elected to office. I care about the fact of her health care, because Black women die at a high rate when it comes to medical services. I also want women's rights. I shouldn't have to sit here and fight for my rights or my daughter's rights to be able to, if they choose to have an abortion, if something's wrong with the child. These are just little things. The Voters Act, those are things that I feel I want to see replicated in our country, and that's not what the other side has on their platform.
Whew. Okay, so she kind of answered the question at the end. She talked a little bit about abortion, not necessarily. It was generalized. Let me say that, and first of all, when you're asked the question about the policy, why do you start it off with saying, "Oh, Trump is a dictator"? Like, why? And then on top of that, why do you got to give us all of this extra added context? All you have to do is go, the Voters Act. Yeah, and like this. What was all of that? Man, forget my response. The response that you're about to see from Anton Daniels is spot on. He's created a solution that is so great. I mean, it is perfect. It is the perfect solution to anybody who's afraid of abortion rights being taken away. I got to tell you about something that's been frustrating me for a while, and I know it's getting at you too. It's these spam calls and these spam text messages. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a text message saying my bank account has been compromised. Of course, I'm waking up out of my sleep, barely can realize reality, and I'm panicking until I woke up and realized, oh, it's one of them. Recently, Ticketmaster was hacked and the data of 500 million users was put up on the dark web. That data includes full names, full addresses, email addresses, credit card info, phone numbers, and everything in between. In that case, we would pray we get some more spam, but at worst, it's gonna turn to fraud, and we don't want that. These businesses are happy to collect from you, but they ain't trying to protect you, okay? That's why I use Aura.com, the sponsor of today's video. You see, Aura alerts alerts me when my data has been part of a data breach or leaked on the dark web. It gives me fast fraud alerts if anyone tries to use that data to access my credit card or bank accounts. And it removes my information from data broker websites, so I get less spam. And you get some of the dopest features like a VPN, transaction monitoring, you get password manager, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and it's all in one affordable app. That's why I just kind of lay back and relax a little bit, because I know if my data was compromised in any sort of way, I have Aura that's always on, and I ain't tripping because they always on. And Aura's always doing the hard work and keeping me safe. Not only myself, I'm not gonna leave my family vulnerable to any more data breaches, and you don't want to do that either. So visit aura.com/kingdomreacts and you can get 2 weeks for free. The link is in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. When I tell y'all he's found the secret, and it's gonna surprise you because you're gonna realize that you realized it too. But anyhow, Anton, take it away.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. She started off her narrative about what it is that she didn't like about Trump again. And usually what I've come to conclude is that most people do that because she doesn't have policy. Even the talking points that dictator, even the talking points that she has are general. They're not even real policy. We have, okay, so number one, Trump never said that he wanted to remove abortion in general. And I'm not even an abortion supporter, right? What he said was it should go back into the states. The states specifically should be the ones to determine what happens on an individual state level, and it should not be in the hands of the federal government in the first place, okay? So that's number one. So all of this fear mongering when it comes to that whole women's rights things, that's trash. Number two, we got the same old talking points when it came to Obama, when it came to the people that's happening on a local level in all of these cities. This diversity, equity, and inclusion shit gotta die. It gotta die.
So
look,
now notice she can't contain herself. She can't hold her comments. She has to interject.
I want the best person for the job.
States to regulate abortion. That means if you're not in a state that is for allowing someone to have a right to exercise in their body, then you're fucked up. So correct. I want it to be federal because then there is overseer on these rights. I'm not going to be hopping and jumping from each state that is aligning with what I believe in just because we want to give states certain rights. The Constitution created rights for the states, but we have a federal government that needs to oversee states. So it's not adding up because you gonna move to a state if they heavy on policing, right? And they giving police immunity over in Texas.
Hold on, don't skip around. Let's stay on this abortion. Let's stay on this abortion thing.
To North Carolina and state of North Carolina and not be in Texas because we give so much governance over the state. No, I don't agree with that.
Well, listen, here's the beautiful thing. The first thing that y'all can do is close your legs.
Anton, slow down the chat.
No, I'm not slowing down the chat. The first thing that women can do, because y'all so concerned with the government playing a role in what it is that you got going on as far as whether or not you can have a child or not, is close your legs and marry before you care.
Huge shout out to Anton Daniels, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his YouTube channel, Anton Daniels, where that clip came from, what derived from. But Joy said this was fireworks from start to finish. And man, definitely the quote we definitely need to see it on a shirt. Close your legs and marry before you care. I'm telling you, that right there was the perfect campaign ad right there. Hold up. Speaking of ads, we got a whole ad going on in the background. Can I skip it? I can't even skip it yet, y'all. Like, yeah, on the TV, you know, I got the premium on the computer, but not on TV. You know, it is what it. Oh, what, they got an anti-Trump ad? What is this? I wish I can turn it up. I'm in the middle of doing a video. My bad, y'all. Let's read a few comments to get me back in motion. Congratulations to those of you that listened to this lady and managed to avoid injuring yourself as a distraction. Right. That was absolutely painful to listen to, but pretty damn good Kamala impression. I'm just saying. Yeah, because we just heard a lot of yada, 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 yada. And I hate when people make simple conversation complicated. Obviously, we're going to ask you to expand on your whys, but just give us the punchline, man. Don't give us the whole circle around. Like, just give us the punchline. That's all we want. That's all the American people want. You feel me? And right now it's saying Kamala Harris knows she can't win on her record. So she has to lie about her policies. The American people aren't buying it. They're hurting, and they know Biden and Harris are to blame. Let's check this out.
Donald Trump introduced the no tax on tips policy back on June the 9th. Kamala did the same thing a few days ago on August the 9th, Matt. Kamala also says that she's going to get, if elected, tougher on border security. And I'm thinking to myself, she's the border czar. Yeah. She's in charge of the border right now, and she's vice president. They've got 5 more months until Inauguration Day. She could do this now. My question is, do the American people fall for this?
Well, first of all, Joe Biden made plagiarism famous in running for president. He gave someone else's speech from another country. And now Kamala Harris is basically a plagiarizer as well. She'll say, do anything to try to look joyful and appear competent. And I would just say this, as a Trump supporter, this is great. She knows she can't win on the record, so she has to lie about what she's going to be for. And there's at the fundamental core of all this is she says she wants to work for the working men and women of this country. And it's that's the reason why Biden and Harris have been so enduringly unpopular with those voters who usually are with them lockstep. They are hurting, Rob. These policies are hurting them. Our cities are falling apart. Crime is out of control. Our kids aren't safe in our own schools with both teachers and for security reasons. And these working class people know this, and I think this will ring hollow. And the more she copycats Donald Trump, the more she looks like she really has no substance to offer.
The more she looks like she has no substance to offer? Nah, man. She already got that look. She got that down packed. I mean, boy, she is acing it. Ain't nobody taking it away from her. Let's just say that. Oh, man. Oh, policies. Kamala Harris has nothing to run on. All she has right now is big tech in her pocket, and she's able to kind of rewrite a little bit of a history and sell this dream, which is a mystery. And on top of that, again, shapeshift to kind of get whomever she shapeshifts in whatever room she's in order to get the people on her side. And we just don't like that. We don't agree with that. And on top of that, her people, the Democrats, can't even tell us what policies they agree with.
Today, we're trying to find out from the attendees what Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment has been as VP.
I mean, honestly, I'm not too into politics. I'm just here for the vibe.
Becoming the first female vice president.
So becoming the VP is the best accomplishment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a good person.
Being a good person?
Yeah. She's I don't know. She seems really good for women.
Harris is there with the energy. She has a lot of enthusiasm, so it's important to get behind her.
What is Kamala's top accomplishment, you think?
I can't say anything right now. Give me a second.
Her top contributions to policy or policy as VP.
I wasn't in on the policy making decisions with President Biden, so I don't know.
Her favorite policies, oh my gosh. See, I wish they would tell us more about that because I honestly don't know. I know she's done some good work with immigration even though they say opposite.
What do they say?
Well, what is it? She's the border czar.
She's the fake border czar.
It's her fault that all these immigrants are coming over, to cross the border right now, which I don't think they are.
People have been saying that Kamala's the border czar, or whatever that means. Is there an issue at the border? Has Kamala done anything about it? Or was there not anything to do about it, and so they're just kind of making things up?
So I don't think there's an issue with the border at all. I feel like, yes, illegal immigrants are coming to America, but that's what America's all about, is to come to America and live that American dream, because America isn't just for the whites. It's not just for the blacks. It's not just for the Mexicans. No, it's for everyone around the world. We're supposed to be a country of letting people come in and do what they'd like. I mean, I understand that with they say the border crisis is causing all these drug issues and is causing crime, but in my opinion, there's crime everywhere. You can go to New York, you can go to Canada, you can go anywhere across the world, and there's going to be crime regardless.
Yeah, it's a total. They're blowing it way out of proportion, huh?
Oh, for sure.
Would you say there's a problem at the border at all?
So there is a problem at the border. I really would wish for her to go visit the border while she's here. I don't know what's on her schedule and whatnot, but I mean, there's work to do, and I can't dismiss that. You know, there's problems to fix, but my personal wish would be for her to visit the border with the governor so they could see what's going on.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that was really, 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 really hard to sit through. Man, it's almost like they just giving away our country. That's what it feels like. Just like, I don't know. She just feels like the better choice. This was very cringy, hard to listen to, dog. Like, come on, man. I support Trump because this guy wants to put America first. He wants to get rid of the pedophilia that we're seeing in our educational system. Whether that be the books, whether that be introducing sexuality in any sort of type of way through clothing or representation, drag shows being introduced and things of that nature. He wants to, take taxes off of tips, which is obviously being plagiarized, which is something more recent that I've agreed with. Obviously, he wants to put abortion in the hands of states, which is something that I feel like is pretty fair if you consider it gives the option for people whom are pro-life to have that stage and people who are pro-choice to have said stage. But at the end of the day, we know the solution to not having to make either one of those decisions was given earlier in this video. In addition to that, I enjoy what he's been doing with reducing the cost of inflation. I enjoy what he did with unemployment rates being at an all-time low, or how y'all know what I'm trying to say. Talking about black home ownership, if we want to talk about black people specifically, but home ownership, interest rates was incredibly low. I mean, what? You can actually afford having one job and being able to afford your bare minimum living, and all of these. Like, having Trump in the office, man, was just so much better. And I can tell you why, I can articulate why, but most people just can't. And that's just weird, as the Democrats would put it.